These kids are buying it. They're gullible, they're naive, and they've been taught that they can use whatever means necessary to get their viewpoints across. Well, Robert Kraft, New England Patriots, he's not having it. He went to Columbia. He was on with my friend Joe Kernan this morning on CNBC, and I want you to hear what he had to say, because he gives tons of money to Columbia, and he's pulling every dollar.
Welcome, Bob. It's good to see you, as always. This is the cover. The cover of the New York Post. Not everybody who's on the cover, if you get on the cover of the New York Post, it's kind of questionable whether, but in this case, it's a positive thing for you, Bob. But you wrote an op-ed. What are the key points of what you put forth in that op-ed?
Well, I'm thinking of Columbia, where I went, and they have a core curriculum that really helped train me as a young kid coming from New England. I wasn't ready for the world from Boston. And I think that Alexander and John Jay would be flipping in their graves if they saw what's going on at Columbia now, which was such an open forum. When I went there, it was during the Vietnam War, and free speech prevailed, and people expressed their opinion, and they didn't cover their faces, and there was accountability. And there wasn't the anger and hate that exists now on campuses. And it's very sad to me to see the faculty taking strong positions and doing that, and sort of trying to teach young people what to think rather than how to think, and have the openness. And, you think about the greatness of this country is that people came from all backgrounds, and you came here and your ancestors felt comfortable, and they felt they belonged, and they had a chance. And now it's shocking to me that young Jewish students at Columbia in New York City are scared. They're going home. There's a young student from the Boston area who came back 2 weeks ago and told their dad that they wanted to transfer out of Columbia because they didn't feel safe on the campus. And I'm going, this is 2024 in the United States of America. Am I hearing things right?
You are. And that's a sad thing. But you know what, Robert Kraft? Thanks for speaking up. Thanks for doing the right thing. Other people, Bill Ackman, another great example of a billionaire who's saying enough is enough, and led the charge against Harvard University and MIT and UPenn and the rest of them. But as an alum of Harvard who donated a lot of money, he's like, you got to be kidding me. Very interesting exchange he had with, Laura Loomer. She was on the show the other day on Twitter. The two of them were, kind of going back and forth, and he was making some comments about Biden. And she said, hey, would you be willing to support Trump? And he said, yeah, I'm looking at it. You wonder how many previously uber left people out there, and I don't know if he was uber left, but he was definitely left, are now saying, wait a second, we need to rethink all of this. We need to rethink this, because this team, this guy doesn't stand for anything. And what he does stand for really isn't simpatico with our values and the values that have made this country what it is. These schools that have become so obsessed with diversity, equity, and inclusion. Listen, you know what? I got nothing against diversity. I actually think it's really, really healthy. But diversity of opinion, okay? Diversity of thought, not just diversity of color and sexual preference and how you identify gender-wise. No, we need more than that. We need real diversity. And real diversity means, yeah, sure, people from different backgrounds, people that think differently. There's no thinking differently in academia today. Everybody's cut from the exact same woke cloth. And you wonder why you get problems like we're seeing at Columbia right now. You wonder why the kids are like, no, I'm not going home. Why should I go home? I'm going to sit here and protest all day long, $67,000 a year. which gets us to a whole other question of exactly why is this happening now and who might also be involved. I mean, certainly you got some lefty politicians, AOC included, out there supporting this nonsense. You get professors supporting this horror. Can you imagine if these kids were saying what they're saying about Israeli students and how they're attacking them, if they were saying that about black students? I mean, this is not acceptable, guys, okay? It's just not acceptable. And the stereotyping has got to stop. I'm with Robert. Like, I'm just stunned. I'm disgusted at all of it.